would like to invite to the stage Terry Aldrich, who will introduce Alice Tower Knapp.
Thank you, Aaron. Alice Tower Knapp, what an incredible collegiate career. You are an amazing athlete, and I was very proud to coach you for those years. You were a 3-time first-team All-American, a 4-time first-team All-East skier. You were on 2 national championship winning teams. You were on 2 national championship relay teams winning. In 1979, you won every race you entered. And you were consistent. You were consistent. Over your career, in the carnivals that you skied over 4 years, you finished out of the top 3 once. And that other finish was a 4th place finish, probably bad waxing on my part. So I was a little intrigued by this consistency of hers, so I did some digging. I looked into some results that were passed down to me over my 30 years at Middlebury, and from Bobo Sheehan and from John Bauer. And my research showed clearly that over 4 years of skiing in Eastern Carnival races, Alice scored more points than any skier in Middlebury College history. How about that? In 1981, right after she was a graduate, she was named to the U.S. ski team development team, and she chose not to extend her career at that point. And she probably has many reasons for that. I have an opinion of 2 major reasons. One is that the organization, as Sue Long can tell you, was not that strong. There was really limited funding, coaching, training camps. It was very difficult. But the second reason, and maybe more compelling, is that on a train from Anchorage up into the mountains carrying skiers, she met this one charming, articulate, intelligent, and handsome young man, a recent graduate of Yale. Well, from that train ride, as they say in sports, it was game over. So, as impressive as her college career was, for me, what was equally impressive was what she has done and her commitment to support skiing in the state of Alaska. In 1981, right after graduating from college, she became the head coach of the Service High School team. From 83 to 90, she served as a board member of the Alaska Ski Educational Foundation. In 91, she was selected as president of the Nordic Ski Association of Anchorage. In 2010, she and her family established the NSAA Elizabeth Tower College Scholarship in memory of her mother, providing funding to Alaskan college-bound skiers. In 2018, Alice was awarded a lifetime membership award for 15 years of volunteering within that organization. From 2011 to 17, she served as director of a Ski for Kids Day, which provided funding to local schools for equipment. From 2014 to 20, she did something I think is really cool. She volunteered for an organization called Ski Coup, which is an organization which sends coaches to remote Alaskan villages to introduce the sport of cross-country skiing to native school children. She tells a story of up in Port Lay, Alaska, which is way up there. She was assigned a sheriff's deputy to be on guard for polar bears while she was teaching her students. She did all of this while raising 3 children, numerous dogs, working as an elementary school teacher and librarian, competing in distances of 25 to 55 kilometers in skiing in World Lapid events, competing in USTA sectionals in tennis. She runs a half marathon every year, and just to keep herself out of trouble, she recently authored a book on the 60-year history of skiing of the Nordic Ski Association of Anchorage. Now, I can't really introduce Alice without telling one story, and I'll make it short. I could tell many, but I'll only tell one. Now, I had hoped that over time, her sense of direction would have improved with age, but apparently that's not the case, because I got an email from her on Wednesday saying that she was still directionally challenged. So this particular story took place behind the field house. Senior year, spring semester, beautiful day like today, I'm walking with her. And I said, so Alice, what are you really gonna miss about Middlebury next year? And I honestly can't say what she said, but I do remember one thing. We're behind the field house now. And she points up, she says, you know what I'm really gonna miss? I'm really gonna miss those fall hikes in the Adirondacks. And I said, well, Alice, that's great, but you're facing east. These are the greens. So family members joining Alice tonight are her husband Gunnar, sister Chris, daughter Elizabeth, as well as many former friends and teammates. Please join me in welcoming Alice Tower Knapp.
We'll go on that side of her, so we'll be in the middle. Congratulations. So you'll hold that and be in the middle of the two of us. And the camera through the light.
Ooh, it's bright. Okay, now Gunnar is truly the love of my life, but the timeline's a little off on that, but it's okay. I really, I'll get into that later, but thank you, Terry, and thank you, Middlebury College, for this honor. It's appreciated. I'd like to recognize my family who's here tonight. My sister, Chris Tower-Zaffron, who not only named me, but let me follow in her footsteps to Middlebury. A little known fact is that Chris won Middlebury Carnival her freshman year, setting a good example for her little sister 7 years later. My wonderful husband of 37 years, Gunnar, and my fun and talented daughter, Elizabeth, are all here tonight. My whole family, including my daughter, Christina, and son, Nathaniel, who couldn't be here tonight, we enjoy skiing, running, and other active pursuits. Our family motto is, naps always win. And I believe that because we have a lot of fun, we do things together, and even if the results don't indicate it, you know, life is good, we're doing great. I am certain I would not have had a successful college skiing career if it hadn't been for Coach Terry and his wife, Beth Ann. Coming from Alaska, I needed a home away from home, which they provided. I got to babysit, eat turkey dinners. We had to win the turkey and the turkey trot first, but we got turkey dinners. I even got to plant potatoes, not very successfully. Beth Ann was the perfect team mom, and not just for the ski team, for the running team, for the parents of hockey players, for all sorts of people that they took under their wing. Beth Ann hosted the team for buckwheat pancake feeds. You had to run 9 miles first, but they were good. And even though Terry was gone every weekend during ski season, she cheerfully shared him with us while raising her young family. Thank you, Bethany. Coach Terry got us in shape. He had a way of motivating us to do well. We knew what we needed to do, and I thrived under his coaching. Off-season, he would challenge me to a tennis match. The loser had to buy the winner a milkshake at the crest room. I never won. Something that still bugs me. Perhaps I should challenge him now. I've had 40 years to improve my game. See, he is still motivating me after all these years. Thank you, Terry. It seems like a long time ago, I arrived on campus in the fall of 1977, an aspiring skier, long on competitive spirit, but a bit short on conditioning and technique. It didn't take long for me to realize this. All fall, Terry had taken the team on day-long training hikes in the Green Mountains and the Adirondacks. As an Alaskan, I had poo-pooed these mountains, which barely went above tree line. Yet spending a day speed hiking up and over them, often covering close to 20 miles, made it clear to me that one, I wasn't in as good shape as my teammates, and two, these mountains were the real deal. I also learned I am directionally impaired. One of the tougher workouts for me that fall was roller skiing up Appalachian Gap. About a 10-mile roller ski, something like that. Terry would drop the team off at the bottom, and we would wind our way up to the top of the gap where the van would be waiting. That's if you were strong enough to make it to the top. I didn't make it to the top my freshman year, much to my frustration. But I had a plan. The next summer, Liz Carey, Middlebury's two-time national collegiate cross-country ski champion, came up to Alaska to work and train and whip me into shape. It worked. While I don't remember that much about individual races, I do remember long drives in the van to and from the races. I get car sick. Getting to pig out at Thayer, Dartmouth's eating hall. The end of the season effort by the Alpine team to get the Nordies drunk. It wasn't very hard. The pre-race panic I had before the relay at Lake Placid Nationals in 1980, when my skis just didn't have enough kick, but they hadn't been waxed yet. The fall hikes, drinking hot tea after every ski workout, and the pot-bellied warm-up stove at Bread Loaf in the underbelly of the barn. Driving the team van back from Lake Placid and taking every wrong turn, proving to my team that I both needed glasses and I was directionally impaired. My sophomore year, I was the old lady of the team, and I was determined to stay ahead of my teammates, who in many races were my closest competition. I didn't continue racing after college. I wanted to teach. I wanted to live in Alaska, and I knew I needed a coach if I were to reach to the next level. I knew my limitations. The U.S. team at that time couldn't provide the type of coaching that Middlebury had. Today, there are club teams like APU in Anchorage and Stratton Mountain in Vermont that provide an environment needed to succeed at a higher level. Perhaps if there had been that then, I would have continued racing, at least until I met Gunnar. Thank you to my Middlebury teammates who are here tonight. Jim Ranker from Anchorage, who put up with me all 4 years on the ski team. We spent most of that time arguing about this and that. And even though I hate to admit it, he was generally right. Karen von Berg-Noyes, my friend, my roommate, my buddy, who kept training fun, whether it was taking turns, carrying each other up the 6 flights of Hadley Hall, or getting lost together on the long trail because we couldn't keep up with the team. Sue Long Weymouth, who started out as a piney, alpine skier, and converted to skinny skis after her junior year and became an Olympian. I'd like to think that I gave her the idea to make that change, and I'm glad she did. Kate Mooney, a running teammate who invited me to her family's wonderful Vermont house for a study weekend. I needed a break from campus, and it was a perfect retreat. Danny Shaw Virtue, my co-captain on the 1980 team. She was a piney, but we rose that trophy very proudly. Together we led our team to the AIW Team Championship. Thank you, teammates, for coming. And Lori Woodward, who's over here too, who is also a member of the Alpine team. Thank you for coming. Middlebury has a long history of outstanding skiers. I was lucky to have been here during a time when we had the top women's collegiate ski team in the nation. Middlebury didn't, and still doesn't, offer athletic scholarships. Yet, we were able to outski those universities who did. I attribute that to Middlebury's commitment to its athletic program. The mid-ski team continues to shine. We have tonight 2 current members of the team here, and the coaches, and Shay and Charlotte. Enjoy the ride. The future is bright. Thank you.